Welcome to In the Zone. I am Craig Zimmerman. This is In the Zone number 30, and we have a local merchant in town here, Donna Tebeau. Welcome to In the Zone.
Thank you.
So I called you, Donna, here a month or so ago and asked you to come on, and you weren't so sure you wanted to come on, but I said it'll be easy.
You promised.
I promised that. And so the interesting thing is you own Vera Grace, but I'm going to back up and say last month you went on a pretty cool vacation.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
It was my husband on his bucket list. He wanted to go to Alaska, so we did. But as we are a little older, we did the cruise. We didn't do the hiking through Alaska like we probably would have loved, but it was wonderful.
First time there?
Yes. Yep.
I mean, I've never heard a bad thing about the landscape and
it's
the mountains.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See some wildlife?
Well, we were on a ship that was like 19 floors high, and we were on 17. So yeah, you saw wildlife, but it was
dots.
Okay.
Because
they'd say, "Oh, there's a black bear." I'm thinking, where? So,
okay. Now, as I talk to folks, I talk about, we start off where you were born and raised, and beforehand I asked you a couple questions. We'll go over those.
Okay.
I learn something in every discussion we have, and I always say, if you or I say something that's not correct, Paul will cut it out.
Okay.
So, you were born and raised in good old Marine City, and
Sure.
tell us about your family.
I'm the youngest, the baby of 4, 2 brothers and a sister. They're all gone now, so I'm the last man standing.
Okay.
My mom and dad are, of course, gone, and always loved Marine City and always will.
And your father and mother's names were?
August, we called them Gus, and Vera.
And that's where you got the Vera for the Vera
Yep.
Grace. Where does the Grace come from?
Okay. One day, all right, I'll back up a little bit. I always collected antiques, lived in a big old Victorian home, and somebody that I worked with at the local dentist called me up and said, "My mother-in-law passed away. Come and help me decide what to keep and what not." So I did, and my husband came looking for me because I was gone all day. And I said, "Isn't this a cute house? Wouldn't this make a cute shop?" I have no idea why I said that. So the gal, that lady that had passed away, her name was Grace. So I named it after the 2 of them.
That's a good name. Yeah, good name. So your maiden name was Daniels,
Yep.
and everybody knows a Daniels or 2 in town. So
Yes.
you can't hide from that.
No.
And Uncle Harold is still around, and Uncle Bill is still
Yep.
around.
Bless their hearts.
Yep.
Yes.
I mentioned earlier, but I'll mention again the one story I say, if you really want to go back into our way back machine. I was at Lumberjack here 8 months ago, and I run into Uncle Harold, and Uncle Harold is somewhere around 95 years old,
Yep.
spry, and as
Yes.
with it as you and I.
Oh, he better than I.
And so it just dawned on me. I said, Mr. Daniels, I said, there can't be anybody else that has possibly had a charge account here at Lumberjack longer than you.
Yep, I'm sure that's right.
He
Yep.
smiled. I said, I got to look at your number. You got to be 001, right? There can't be a contractor who's been around longer than he
You're
has.
right.
So you went to good old Marine City High School.
Oh, yep, I'm a Mariner.
But did you go to Ward Cottrell High School?
No, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, we lived around the corner from Washington
Okay.
at that point.
And did you go away to school? Or did
No.
Okay.
No, right out of high school, I started working for the local dentist, and he trained me as an assistant, and I did that for 10, 11 years.
What dentist?
Dr. Beauchamp, Merle
Okay.
Beauchamp. Mhm.
Everybody knows Dr. Beauchamp and the
Yep.
family. Barry's carrying on his father's trade, if you will. So you have children and you have a husband. Tell us about them.
All right, I have a husband that I married right out of high school. He's from St. Clair,
And what's his name?
William, Bill, and I have 4 children. We have 4 children.
Yeah.
Bobby, well, he's getting older. His name is Bob.
Okay.
He's 50-something. Danielle, and grandchildren. Bob has 1, Ava Grace, 15, and a lovely wife, Cherie. Danielle's married to Todd. They have 3.
Okay. So it keeps you a busy grandmother.
Yes,
Okay.
love it.
And so when did you now, let me back up and ask. You were a bus driver for my kids and a
Yes.
lot of kids.
Yep.
How many years did you drive bus?
Well, it started out I was only going to drive for maybe a year, and I think it was another 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like you were a bus driver for a generation of kids anyway.
Yes, yes,
right?
and I love those kids. Yes.
Up and down Urban Drive.
Yeah,
and through
that was
town.
good old days. Yes.
Yep. So now you decided to go into we'll call it the retail business,
Mhm.
when you started off on Broadway.
Right?
Is that where you started?
Yep.
With Vera Grace.
Yep.
And you were back then. Were you more into antiques?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was solely antiques. Yes, and little by little new creeped in,
Okay.
and then I had a couple of gals take me under their wing. They had a place in Auburn Hills. Well, it's Wendy and Diane from Lazy Llama,
Okay. Yeah.
and they said, "Oh, you should sell new." So I did, and here I am now, mostly new. I have a partner now because I'm getting older, so I
Okay.
need a little bit of help.
What's your partner's name?
Vicky,
Okay.
but
Are you there same days, alternating days, a little bit of both?
a little bit of both. Like we split the days because I don't work long hours anymore.
Sure.
And so, then today we were there both together. So
Okay. Now is Bill still doing his carpet cleaning?
no, he
Okay.
retired.
He's retired
Yes.
twice now.
Yeah, this is it.
This is
It
it?
was between. He made a promise to me if something happened to his machine or him,
Done.
he was done, and it happened both things. So he's
Well,
done.
it's good news that the machine went before he did,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
So he did that for a number of years too.
He worked for Chrysler's for 30
Yep.
years, and then I didn't want him sitting around, and he didn't want to either, because he's a worker.
Yep.
So then that's what he did.
So you are now downtown Marine City on Water Street.
Yes,
And you are, I don't have the exact address, but it's 400 something?
312.
312.
Yeah.
In the old dime store building is what I'll
Yes.
call it.
Mhm.
So back in the day, we remember the Knights and the Perrys that ran the dime store.
Yes.
And you are in the northern half of it.
Yes.
And tell us about how big your store is and what you've
Oh.
got.
I don't have a clue how big it
Probably-
is. Do you think?
Probably about
24,
1,500, 24.
15?
Yeah, 1,500, 2,000 square
I'm
feet.
terrible with,
Right.
with that. Yeah, and we have it packed to the gills. Toy Town, do you remember where that was?
Yep.
That's our storage area. That's packed, but
Yeah.
we do a nice business there. Good location.
Yeah. And so you and Todd's with the candy store.
Yeah.
He's on the south side, you're on the north side of it. Most times I've been down there, people tend to peruse both.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
They're always coming in either with their candy bag
Right.
or their ice cream or whatever. Now coffee.
Right.
A lot, yes.
Now, how many years roughly have you been in business then?
Probably, if I say that, then you'll know how old I am. 20-some years.
Okay. So if you look at 2022 and the type of business that's done downtown, back when you started, you probably never would have guessed you would have done the type of business.
Never, no. It was just a simple business.
Like a hobby at first.
And now it's a huge undertaking.
Yeah. You go in that store, and I can't even think to imagine how many numbers of products there are.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
But you've got a lot of Marine City stuff there.
Yes.
You've got a lot of Michigan stuff
Yes.
there, and then a lot of clothing.
Yes, we are trying to focus now mostly on the local merchandise like the Marine City or the Michigan. That is probably our #1 seller. Clothing, I think we're going to downsize on that more. They like to pick up little gifts here and there too. So we like to keep, because there's not
Sure.
too many places to pick up a nice little gift for somebody.
Right. So now, where do you acquire most of this stuff? Do you go to a show?
We used to, I used to always go to either Atlanta, New York sometimes, but mostly Atlanta. Last few years since COVID, we haven't gone, but the reps come to us because they want us to keep buying. So
And then I'm guessing that some of the stuff can just be ordered on, you go to their website, and
Yes.
you get a number of suppliers.
yes.
Now, in a store like that, how many suppliers roughly would you have? Would a couple dozen?
Yeah,
Something like that?
like that. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And if somebody walks in and they knew you had something last week, but they don't have it this week, can you order it?
No,
Okay.
that has changed. It used to be that our suppliers had a back stock, and now they don't. It's you have to order a year ahead of time.
Okay.
And if it's kind of a catch-22. If you don't order enough, you can't get it again.
Right.
But if you order too much and it doesn't sell,
Then you're stuck with it.
Yes.
Okay.
So that climate has changed.
Okay. So now you're sort of a specialty, I'll call it niche store that
Mm-hmm.
people aren't necessarily saying I'm going there. Some people do, but you're having people peruse town. and,
Yes.
you know.
And we're not in, there's nothing there you need.
Right. It's you want.
Yes.
Or you see and you pick it up.
Yes, then you think, oh, yeah, I do need this. Not really. No.
Now, if you remember, you remember back to like, I'll pick a number, back to the mid to late 80s, early 90s, 6, 7 o'clock on a weeknight or a Friday, you could throw a bowling ball through town.
Yes.
Now you go downtown, most nights in the summer, weekend nights,
Yes.
forget about it. You can hardly get a parking
Yes,
spot,
yes.
Which is a good problem to have.
Yes.
However, I would say to those people that say you can't find a parking spot, I've never had to go more than around the block once.
Yes,
anywhere.
right.
So not a big deal. But you look at the amount of people walking downtown.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to Riviera, they're going to the Mariner,
Yep.
they're going to your store, they're going to Todd's, they're to the
Fish
Sweet
Company,
Tooth,
yeah.
the Fish Company,
Mhm.
Anita's, Gar's.
Yes. It's a walkable town.
Yeah.
And they love to walk it. They come from all over. They love the water. They love to see the freighters, but they just like it because it's a nice, friendly, walkable town.
The thing I notice is that you can pick out in a lot of scenarios when the locals versus the visitors, because if there's a freighter going by,
Yeah.
the visitors got their phones out.
Yep. Yes.
And, but that's all good.
Oh, it is. It's wonderful.
It's also have to have changed in respects to knowing all your customers. 20 years ago, you knew most everybody.
Yes.
Today, not so much.
Not so much. No.
And I'll say that being a Marine City native, I'll go in. It was last week into Anita's, and the week before that into Riviera, and you used to look around, and used to know everybody.
Yes.
Now you go,
Yeah. Nope.
there's nobody here anymore.
No.
But the good thing is that everybody's thriving and busy.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now you've got a partner. Is there a plan to retire at a specific point, or just
Well,
slowly move out?
Our lease is 5 years, so that will be up in I think 2014.
24.
And then 24. But then I think, well, then another 5 years, I'll be 80 something. I'm thinking, no, that's not going to work. I don't want to be that old lady at the counter they can't add or whatever. So I will have to either phase out, or maybe somebody will come along and want to buy the business.
So you're going to work when you want, how you want.
Yes.
There's no sense of retiring if you don't have to.
No,
but you don't want to be burdened with too many hours.
Yes.
Who wants to be?
Right.
Yeah. Anything downtown that you've heard? Any other changes or additions? Obviously, there's some things going on with Gord's Bar.
Yes.
Some other things down
Isn't
that way.
that wonderful with
Yeah.
the rooftop? I love that.
Yep.
Music in the park has been catching on, and it looks like it's well received, and then I love that.
Got a couple different scenarios with condos going in downtown. I noticed the condos just north of the Mariner. That's sort of in the middle of destruction.
Yeah.
And they're going to put the facades back on and
that's
have some condos. So
wonderful.
that'll be nice. There's going to be supposedly some condos just north of the hotel, north of where Turnings used to be at some point. We haven't seen it break ground yet, but
No.
a lot of good things happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So appreciate you coming by Channel 6
Thank
here.
you.
We always like interviewing good local people that have some background and deep-rooted history. So thank you for coming by.
You're welcome.
If you know of anybody else that you would like to see interviewed, as I always say at the end, call me, 586-707-5811, and we will try to have them on. Thank you, and have a great day.